Alright, so we're going to look at increasing and decreasing percentages in this video right here. So let's look at an example. So let's just say if I had $60 and I wanted to increase this by, let's say, 10%. Right? So what we'll do is we'll write down our number, 60. Obviously, we're looking to increase, so we're looking to add. And 10% as a decimal is 0.1. And we'll multiply that by 60. So if we think about this, and if you try to understand, we got 60. We're trying to increase it by 10% of 60. So we're increasing it with 10% of that value. All right? If we look at solving this, we got 60 plus, and we have to figure out what 10% of 60 is. So I'll write that down. I'll do some calculation down here. So we've got 60.1. Okay, we're trying to multiply. It's pretty straightforward. 1 times 0 is 0. Whoops. And 1 times 6 is 6. And because we've got one decimal place, right, we put our decimal point down there. So we're looking to increase it by 6. So therefore, our final value would be $66. Okay, so you're looking to increase that. So that's what we add by 10% of 60. All right. So that's the whole idea behind that. So let's look at another example. All right. Let's say I had $220 and I wanted to increase this by, let's say, 12%. All right. I'm going to increase it by 12%. So again, we'll get rid of the dollar sign, write down 220 plus 0.12, which is 12% as a decimal, multiplied by 220. Okay, so we get 220. And now I have to do my calculation. I'll do it on the side here because I've got a bit of space over here. So we got 220.12 times. We've got 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. We had our space is 0 there. We've got 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 2 is 2. And we add, we've got 4, 6, and 2, so 2,640. We've got 2 decimal places to the right, and therefore we put it to 2 decimal places. So we're looking to increase this by 26.40. Alright, and when we add this up, we get 246.40. So our final value will be $246.40. Alright, and this is what we do to increase by a percentage. Well, now let's look at decreasing by a percentage. So let's just say I had 55 and I want to decrease this by 15%. Alright, so we'll write it down. So we got 55, and because we're decreasing, we're going to subtract 15% of 55. So we can write that out. 55 minus, and I need to do a bit of working on the side here. So we got 55 times 0.15. 5 times 5 is 25. We carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 2 is 27. We add our 0 down the bottom as our buffer. 5 times 1 is 5. And 5 times 1 is 5. We add it up. We get 5. That becomes 12. So we carry the 1. And that becomes 8. 825. And because we got 2 decimal places, we put our point there. So therefore, we're looking at decreasing this by $8.25. Oh, so not $8. I'm just going to say 8.25. Okay, sorry I used dollars there. I thought I was still doing in dollars, but we've got no units. And therefore, when we decrease that by 8.25, we subtract. All right, we subtract 8. We're looking at 47 and then we minus 2.5, so we're looking at 46.75 when we subtract that. Alright? Alright? When we subtract it, we look at 46.75 is what we get. Well, let's look at one more example. Alright? Let's say I was going to decrease 64 by, let's say, 8%. Alright, again we write down, oh, I forgot to write decrease. We're going to decrease by 8%. Again, we write it out, so we're looking at 64, we're decreasing, so that's minus by 0.08 multiplied by 64. Alright, so now we go through our process, do some rough working on the side. So you got 64 times 0.08. 8 times 4 is 32, so we carry the 2 there. 8 times 6 is 48, and we plus 3, so it becomes 51. And we don't have a second line, and because we've got 2 decimal places, it's going to be 5.12. Alright, so that's what we're looking at, 5.12. So we're looking to decrease it by 5.12, so I can write that down on the side. 64 minus 5.12. Okay, because we're looking to subtract decimals. Okay, when I subtract 64.5, we're getting 59, and because I'm subtracting 0.12 by 1, I should get 0.88. So therefore, I should get 58.88, and that is what I should get after I subtract. So well, that's my decreased value right there. Okay, so just using the idea of multiplying decimals and adding and subtracting decimals throughout our process.